This is a quick message I want to put out here about system in collapse. There's a lot of folks online putting out system is in collapse, and I would agree. In many regards, it is. Sorry, my office is a disaster right now, so it is. There's a lot of turmoil going on because there's a lack of industry going on right now. There's a lack of shipping food. And then you have here in the States, you have a couple of, totalitarian governors out there, New York and California specifically, that since those states have always been that way, it's easy for them to continue to check people over into more and more restrictions. And then those areas, Southern California, New York City, are being used as the test beds. They're weaponizing fear. That's all this is. And then the mainstream media is trying to push this idea. So there's a lot of commentators I watch, like Tim Pool, for instance, and a few others that I can't name off the top of my head, because it's morning and I just had my first sip of coffee. You witnessed that live. Just like the mainstream media, they're also kind of sensationalizing this. But it is a big deal, because then you have other places like big swaths of Australia that are in, complete lockdown. I mean, they're making concentration camps in Australia, for instance, and so on and so forth. Here's the reality. Washington, D.C., and the northern eastern seaboard from New York City and maybe some surrounding areas, but you always hear New York City. Southern California, from maybe, San Francisco down to L.A. or San Diego, along that coastal area. And then you have the coastal regions up there between Portland and Seattle. That's it, okay? The rest of us understand that times are going to be tough. Times are going to be tough for quite a while. This probably has been coming for quite a while either way, but this does not mean the system is in collapse. What this means is that we need to fight a little harder. One of the things I want everybody to realize is that if you understand how a narcissist works, just on an individual basis, you'll understand that they win and they beat you down through 1,000 paper cuts, 1,000,000 paper cuts. They're relentless. And for the past 2 years almost, we have had this relentless barrage. Most people aren't equipped to deal with this or to see through the BS, right? That's the biggest thing, is seeing through the BS, seeing it for what it is. Most people are just kind of a leaf on the stream getting pulled down river, and you don't know where you're going, and you feel helpless against it. But the thing is you're not that leaf on the river. You're standing in the river, and you can walk out of it. You can self-rescue, and is it a little scary? Sure, but is it a little less scary than just being drug into something that we don't know what's going to happen? Right now, they have to have New York, that eastern seaboard and the western seaboard, collapse to drive fear into the rest of us. And it's on you to not allow that to happen. Continue your mission. Continue going to work. Continue paying your bills. Continue making friends. And, right now is a great time to go out there and meet your neighbors. And to start figuring out what resources other people can provide. Somebody's got a garden, maybe somebody knows that garden knows somebody else that, well, hey, I get raw milk from this place. They've got like 3 cows, and they can support only so many people, but they've got raw milk. And oh, by the way, on Facebook I saw that there's lots of people that have their own chickens, and they're selling chickens and selling eggs and so forth. There's abundant resources out there. You don't have to rely on the shipping trucks, and you don't have to rely on the grocery stores and so on and so forth. Money, the value of the dollar is collapsing. There's absolutely nothing I can do about that, and there's nothing you can do about that right now. Other than, don't just start selling your stuff off for cash right now, because your stuff will be more valuable in the future. Find out other ways. If you have to take on second and third jobs, I've done the same thing, just to make ends meet. Well, for the time being, suck it up and do it. All right? And that's what you got to do. Don't let fear, because fear is the easiest thing to exploit. I can exploit fear in anybody. All I have to do to cause fear in like half the population is go out to my porch and grab one of these big wolf spiders and hold it in front of them. They're pretty much harmless, but I can strike fear and I can get my way with people just by holding a spider. And it's really that hard. And then now you've been ground down. You're emotionally ground down, and you feel weak. But this is where you build your resilience. You have to wake up every morning and you have to say, F it, I have to get this job done. F it, regardless of the things thrown in my way. People leaving your life and whatever, you have to continue your mission. And if that means that you start making, if you're younger men, if you need to start making friends, because I know young men have a hard time, they don't make friends. They sit next to people all day long and play games. But you have to make friends, real friends, people that you can trust on and rely on. They have to be able to rely and trust on you too. So be strong is what I'm saying. That's the end state of this little video, is to be strong. And, don't give in to the hype. Turn off the news. Quit watching videos that sensationalize the hype and, it's all going to hell in a handbasket. Yeah, New York City's going to collapse. Big deal. Southern California is going to collapse. Big deal, right? So these places, for all intents and purposes, have already collapsed. They're losses, right? But we're grading the entire nation on these two areas, and then DC, of course. We have the right to just say, F you, we're just doing it our way. And what are they going to do? Are they going to send troops to your house? Well, no, they won't. They may eventually, in 5 or 10 years, they may try to do that. But right now, they will not do that. And because right now they're worried about the optics. They're worried about making it look good. In about 5 or 10 years, they won't be worried about making it look good. But in 5 or 10 years, if we all give up, that's when they'll do whatever they want. We can't give up now. We have to continue fighting. You are only 30 miles into an infinite number of miles of a road march. But at the end of the road, you have to get there. That's your only mission. You have to get to your target. And nobody told you how far you're from target. You're not even exactly sure where you hit the ground at. So you only know that I got to go that way, right? And you just keep going that way. Don't stop and go other ways, and go in one direction and keep pushing in that one direction. Now, eventually if that one direction fails, divert your path left or right, of course, but don't keep pushing against failure, And this is what, for you younger men, you have to also learn is sometimes cut your losses. Cut your losses, because, when you see something as going to be inevitable, don't fight for it anymore. Leave and go down a different path. I'm going to start actually putting videos out again on this channel. It's been a few months. I've been very hectic, very busy. And, I've been stuck in a rut myself, and it's time to get out of it. So I'm going to start putting some lessons on here that are lessons that I've learned through the years as well. And they're not lessons that I've learned that I'm just going to ad hoc do. I'm going to be going over some things, like the Book of the Five Rings and the Noka Shu, I think it's the Noka, I'll get it to you, and the Code of the Samurai, and so on and so forth. And we're going to pick out a topic on each one of these, and I'm going to discuss it, because these are the things. I honestly believe that the warrior tradition mixed in with the Buddhist tradition will help you harden yourself and focus yourself and make yourself, and you will then feel powerful in your own life and feel powerful to move forward into the future. And then when you have friends that you can convince to do the same thing, this will help you all. You'll walk forward together. All right. Well, that's going to be the end of this for now. And stay safe out there, boys, and watch out for yourself and do what it takes to remain focused, right? All right, and we'll talk about the focus in the coming videos. Have a nice day.